Hello friends, and welcome to the channel. This is Stormhaven Gaming, I'm John, and this is Timberborn. Okay, we are on day 20, so I think we're approaching halfway through the drought, just shy of halfway through the drought. I think it was 29 days from what I remember, and my memory's terrible, so, you know. But we've got just over 2 weeks left. We are doing all right in terms of well-being. Our beavers are mostly happy. Again, the Earth Repopulator is the one that's dropping us off a little bit, but it's fine. 74 is okay. We've taken a fair amount of water out of this reservoir here already. So, I think I'm going to shut that water pump off. Yeah. Restrict how much we've taken out of there because we've only got, you know, a couple of tiles left that these can reach. And we then have to build down into here to put in some more water pumps to be able to access the rest of it. And I don't know if I can be bothered to do that at this stage. Everything's going okay over here. Our trees are growing up around this area, so that's nice. We've got a few coffee bushes. We've got a few berry bushes. They're starting to spread. Looks like the pines are starting to spread and the oaks. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. I quite like how that's come out. Yeah, happy with that. I will put in another forester up here. But what I will also do... No, I don't want to demolish. There we go. I'll pop some steps in on there, and I think we'll put the... Where are we? The forester up here. They'll be able to reach... Actually, if I pop it up here, they'll be able to reach everything up on this level. As well as this area down here. And what I'll do is... Yeah, if I put in a little crossing there, they'll be able to access that bit as well. And we'll plant up to the edge on those, and hopefully it will spread this way. Yeah, that's what I'll do there. Okay. Over here, if we zoom across, we've got our new lake system. Oops, our new lake system going in up here. Over this end, I've replaced what we had, which was 3 dams. And I've replaced that with 2 sluices and a dirt block. If they ever get down here to build it. I'm sure they will eventually. Not sure what they're up to at the moment, but I'm sure they'll get there eventually. Probably. Yeah, we've got these sluices turned off at the moment because we don't need to be draining this section to fill this just yet. We'll wait until the water returns before we turn that back on again, I think. This lake is mostly full. So, yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Really not sure what is being built at the moment. Oh, there we go. That's what's being built at the moment. Yeah. We're putting in explosives down here to extend this pseudo-natural water storage area. Oh, and I should put in a mention for the cluster of trees that was down here that had survived from the early days. I mean, they were dead, but they were still there. They were the ones that we'd replanted at some point, but yeah, they didn't survive, unfortunately. And I forgot to mention when we took them out. I apologise. Okay, but that's where we are. That's what's occurring. I think we're all right. 15 days left. We've got enough water in storage, in terms of in reservoirs and things, to last us the 15.5 days. That shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, I think we're going to be all right. So I'll spin on probably to the end of the drought, and then we'll get moving on everything over here. I'll obviously come back when we're setting these explosives off as well. I've played on until day 30 then, so the 6 days left of the drought, just under a week. We're doing okay. Our water and storage is dropping. Over here, I'm in the process of putting in some additional platforms for a lower water pump. Thank you, autosave. We are very nearly at the bottom of what these pumps can draw from here. So, yeah, for the first time, we've actually reached the limit of these water pumps. Which is impressive in its own right. Part of that is the fact that we are using a lot more water, because we've got all of these water dumps everywhere. So that's nearly done in there. I've turned these 3 off because they're completely drained. I've turned on a couple of these. So we are taking a bit more water out of this reservoir as well. And I've put in a water pump down here in this lake. Because it's about time we actually started using this water for something. So we're just putting some storage next to it on supply, which they can grab from the tubeway there. There is a tubeway station there for access. Yeah, that's what's going on there. Obviously all this has dried up. We've still got a little bit of water in here, surprisingly. But I've had to turn this water dump on because, as you can see, these trees aren't doing great. It's slowly keeping that filled, but I think we might lose some of the ones at the back here. But that's fine. It's not like we're short of logs, so that's okay for now. Over here I've put some mangroves in this lake, so we've got some trees underneath here as well. Over here, looks like our forester has completed its job, so we can get rid of that now. There we go. And we will get rid of all of these planting orders. There we go. So once they are grown, they will be able to spread, and hopefully that will give us a bit of visual interest up here as well. I've made a decision about this area. So obviously we're filling all of this up with the pumps from here. I mean, we can't do it at the moment because the pipe is just dangling free. But yeah, we'll use that to fill all this up. I've replaced the dams over here with those sluices, and I will also replace that path. No, I will replace that path. There we go. Yeah, and I've also started putting in an earth bridge across here with another sluice in it. And we'll dynamite a trail through there. And dynamite a trail through there. And then we'll have this filling up as well. We might need to extend this lake a little bit just to sort of allow it to spread the green far enough, but we're pretty good. Yeah, I think we're pretty much set now. All we need is the water to return and fill all this up. Oh, I also blew a little lake in there, just so when the water fills up in this, it will fill up here and we'll have a little bit more water as it drains away, if you know what I mean. So like we've got over here, we've got a lake, and like we've got over there and in various places across the map. Yeah, alright. I think we're doing alright. We should be alright for the next week at least. Okay, day 32. We've got 4 days left of the drought, and I have a question that I can't believe I've never considered before. So, these water source blocks. If I were to destroy the block next to it, would that increase the flow? Because at the moment it's only flowing out of one side. If we give it more sides to flow out of, will that increase the flow? Will we get more water out of it? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Is it worth a try? Maybe. Yeah. Alright, no, yeah. I'm going to take out that, and I'm going to lay in explosives along there like that. So that will give us one extra face on this one. There's not a lot we can do with this one, unfortunately, because it goes straight into that sluice, and it might cause problems coming in from the side there. I don't know. But we'll try that. We will actually... where are we? Irrigation barriers. We will replace those around the back like that, though. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I mean, I'm sure some of you are aware of this. But it's literally just occurred to me. That might increase the flow, or it might just have the same flow and just flow in different directions. That's all. But it's got to be worth a try. So let's give that a try. There we go. Alright, well we can see what happens in there, can't we? Whether that actually increases it or not. It probably won't. It'll probably just be the strength of the water source itself, but you never know. Okay, I will now spin on for the remaining, 3.5 days until the end of the drought. Okay, there we go. The drought is over, and the water should start to return. Which it certainly is. It certainly seems to be trying to flow both ways. Don't know if that's going to actually increase the flow or not, though. I mean, in fairness, it doesn't even appear to be filling up this basin yet. There we go. There we go. But the water has returned, or is returning, so that is good. I did put in... Oh, those trees have dried out again. That's fine. I turned this water dump off. I did put in a second water pump over here. In here, I am going to close those and have all of the water flow in through there. That's fine. That's fine. I was going to adjust the downstream depth, but we don't need to because it's not marked. Okay. Yes, so that should fill into there, refill all of that. That's good. We've got our larger reservoir here. I will... Yeah, I think I've already set that one. Yeah, it looks like I've already set that one. So let's pause our fluid dump and drop that to 0.8. And we can drop that down to 1.8. Everything else should be okay. I think. I mean, we'll see, I guess. Okay. Oh, that's already started flowing through. Excellent stuff. I will turn on these water pumps in preparation for the water returning. There we go. Okay, now over here then, as the water returns and this fills back up, we'll be able to start pumping water into this section again. So that will flow through here, through these sluices, to fill this section. And flow through this sluice in here to fill this section. That's the idea. Obviously, we're going to have to wait until the water returns. And after a nice long drought like that, it's going to take a little while. This will likely be the first dam to overflow and start flowing this way. But it might be this one up here. Oh, let's set that one as well, actually. There we go. 0.75, please. Thank you. Yeah, all we have to do is wait for the water to return. That's all. And hope that we have enough time between the this drought and the next inclement weather to fill everything back up again. We'll see. Day 3 then, just midday, really, of day 3. And the water has started to return out of this new or extended little reservoir here. It has extended the fertilization of the land a little bit. Not a huge amount, but it's fine. It's just for a little bit more water storage, really. We're back up to 13,000 out of 15,000, so we are moving roughly in the right direction, albeit slowly. I've turned off the water pumps in this reservoir to give it a chance to fill up a little bit, because we took quite a lot out of it during that drought. We are down below the level of the floodgates into this extra section. So ideally, we want that to fill up quickly enough to refill that. That would be nice. So yeah, the water is starting to return down here. It's going to take a little while to filter through all of the dams and everything. Up here, we are desperately trying to fill this up. We're getting there. In fact... Yeah, I'm going to pause these 2 additional water pumps. So that should increase the speed at which that fills up, ideally. Yeah. But water's returned over here. I've no idea if that has increased the flow rate or not. No idea at all. It might have done. Might not. But it's now filling this lake down here. So whichever way we look at it, that's fine. I've dropped that floodgate to 0.75. So if we ever get there before the next drought, which is... I mean, it's unlikely, to be honest. But possible. But then it will start leaking through that floodgate slightly earlier than previously and come down and start filling this section here and allowing some water to flow through into this section. Yeah, but we need all that to happen before this will refill and we can turn on our water pumps. Yeah, someone did mention going into the into dev mode and increasing the flow of some of our water sources, but I don't think we'll do that. I mean, this would be the obvious one, because we have a lot of spare space for it to flow through here. Although, I mean, you know what we could try? Yeah, let's try it. You never know. In fact, we'll come 3 there and 3 that side as well. We'll bring the path around that way. We can get rid of that bit of path. But that will open up that either side of that water source as well, which might increase the flow. Let's have a look. So we've got 32 horsepower on the outside, 23 in the middle. We'll see if that increases. Yeah, that doesn't seem to have increased, does it? Oh well, never mind. Yep, still exactly the same. No, so it doesn't matter how many faces a water source has open. It's just the strength of the water source itself. Alright, well, never mind. Never mind. You know what I will do? I'm going to close that for a second, just so it at least fills in those empty spaces. There we go. Right, the end of day 6 then, or close to the end of the workday on day 6. We're starting to get some water through this section here. So it's obviously going to take a little while to fill up here before flowing into the next section. Over here, this bit is filling up slowly. It's only being fed obviously by the one dam there that feeds through all of this. This hasn't filled up anywhere near enough to come through the floodgates there, but we are flowing through this section now. So all of this is now flowing through this dam into here, joining up with the water from this section here and flowing out into here. So eventually it will fill this hole here. It will spill back into this little section here, and it will spill over into there. Hopefully at some point we'll get some coming out of here as well, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Okay, day 8 brings with it a bad tide warning, but we've got to day 8 without any kind of trouble, so that's not too bad. Down here we have filled up this section here, so we are now filling the last reservoir there. This is filling here slowly. We've started filling up this section here again. I really should replace these with sluices, but it's a bit of a hassle. This isn't far off overflowing though, this little lake here, so that's not too bad. We'll get some more in there, and hopefully the bad tide won't be particularly long. But we are filling up this section here, so our pumps are working. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause that one for a little while, just to allow this basin to fill up. And then we're not going to have any sort of stuttering of the flow here. Everything is set up along here to fill up the various sections. I think I'm going to concentrate on this side first. That's probably the best bet. Alright, we'll turn you back on now. So I'm going to fill this section up a little bit. Then we'll open up this, and hopefully we'll be able to fill all of this. Hopefully. But we'll see. Everything else is going okay. We've got our new little lake filled there. Through here, obviously the water hasn't started flowing through this side yet. It's, again, not far off, but I don't think we're going to make it before the bad tide hits. We might, but there's not going to be a lot going down there, that's for sure. Oops. I turned this fluid dump on to top up this section again, but it looks like we've succeeded. Yeah. Everything else is going okay as far as I can tell. Water-wise, we're alright. We're building up a water supply. Obviously, food, we're always fine. We're running a little bit low on bot chassis, but I'm keeping an eye on that, making sure it doesn't drop too far. Yeah. The water in here is returned at least far enough to start filling up this secondary section over here. We're about, what? 1 tile, 1.5 tiles before it will empty out of here, so I don't think we're going to get that before the end of the wet season either. But not to worry. Things are proceeding. Yeah, let's stick that one on auto there. So that should start flowing through into here. That's set to, yeah, close at 3.8. So once it fills up to about here, let's drop that down to 3.5. And I'm going to set those to be closed. Not that I think we're going to be able to fill up all of this in the next 2.5 days, but we'll give it a go. We'll see how far we can get. Alright, I'll come back at the start of the bad tide. Okay, day 11, we've got a 28-day bad tide. That's not great, honestly. 28 days is going to be a bit punishing for us. We may have some flooding. I will admit that there may be some flooding going on. Tell you what, let's drop those to drop that level down into this section here. I mean, it should be fine. I mean, we're losing a bit of the water that we had stored, but other than that, it's okay. There we go. That's most of that sorted out. Come on, and the rest of you. There we go. Okay, good. Now we can close that up. Right, I will also remember to turn the fluid dump on. Okay. How is everything going? Well, it's alright. Things are alright. This is relatively full, so we should be alright there. We've got mostly full on water. Down here, this briefly started overflowing. Didn't get very far, as you can see. But we are full in our little areas down here. And in fact, they are still flowing because of the flooding we had earlier. But that's fine. Up here we have successfully coated the bottom layer in a thin sheet of water. Very thin. Very, very thin. But at least that is currently still filling. And we'll be able to keep filling that for a little while yet. I've not activated this one yet at all. We're keeping this just for this section at the moment. And then we'll add the other section in once we've got a bit more water. But 28-day bad tide could be troublesome. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. This didn't quite fill up far enough. This didn't quite fill up far enough. But everything else is okay. So I'm just going to spin on, I think. We'll use the water pumps to drain as much out of here and get it up into this section as possible. I won't let it feed out into this section too much. But if we do get enough water in here, I might open up this section and see how we do there. See how far that fertilization will spread. Other than that, I'm just going to spin on. Okay, day 18. So we've got 3 weeks left of the drought. We're doing all right. Things are proceeding as one would expect at this stage in a, well, bad tide, not drought, you know. You know what I meant. We are slowly filling this section here. We're about 1 tile deep, just about to spill over into the second. We don't have full fertilization here, but I'm hoping once we get up onto this second level that will change. I do have these set to close, so we're not going to lose any water into this section until we're ready. My idea is to get this reasonably filled and then start filling up the other side. We'll see. We are getting to the point where we're not going to be able to draw any more water up into here. So, yeah, we're probably done until the end of the bad tide, honestly. So, in fact, let's pause that and let's close those. And we'll just have to lose a lot of this to evaporation, I think. Oh, well. If I'd thought about it, I could have put floodgates in here, so we could have let some of the water out of this section into here. But I didn't think about it, so we don't have those. Oh, well. Never mind. Everything else is going okay as far as I can see. We've got plenty of water, so that's not a problem at the moment. Our bot chassis are kind of hovering and not increasing or decreasing. So we're all right for the moment. We'll see. Yeah, everything's going all right. I guess I'll just continue to spin on, really. Halfway through the bad tide then. 14 days left. We're doing all right. Water, we're fine. Food, we're fine. Resources, we're pretty much fine. Even our bot chassis haven't dropped at all. So that looks like that's holding steady now. Our greenery up here is grown and spreading, which is nice. So that's getting a bit more of a kind of natural feel to it. That's completely full over here. Over on this side, we are spreading. We filled up pretty much around everywhere we planted. And we're slowly spreading this way now. I've also put in some mangroves down here, which are spreading nicely. I only planted maybe half a dozen or so. So they've already spread pretty well. Which is nice. And it only takes them like, what is it, 10 days to grow? Yeah, 10 days to grow, so they spread pretty quickly. Everything's going all right up here. Our oaks are continuing to spread, but obviously they spread more slowly because they grow much more slowly. Over here, we've still maintained a bit of water in this section here, maybe half a tile, so if we're lucky, that will barely dry up by the time the bad tide is over. Over here, we have emptied this newly extended reservoir. But everything else is going okay. We've got a couple of the water pumps on in here. We've turned off the ones in the lake down here. We've still got a fair amount of pipe left on these before they're useless, so I'm going to leave these ones off for now. Our water isn't dropping drastically, so we're not in too much trouble. Yeah, everything's going all right, I think. Down here, I've taken a risky step. I've removed the dams and replaced them with levees. The idea being that it will push the water back into sort of these reservoirs rather than flowing off the map and keep the water on the map. That's the plan there anyway. If we start getting flooding problems, then yeah, we'll put a dam back in. But for the moment, I want to keep as much of the water as possible on the map and not have any leave. I was wondering what we could do over here, and there's not much that I can think of. I think it's just a case of letting it proceed as is. I haven't turned on this water pump over here either, because I want to maintain the water in this lake if we can and get it flowing out this way. Yeah, well-being's sunk to 70, so we can set off our repopulator once all of our beavers are sort of back in this area. So I'll give them a little while to get back here. Okay, we're getting close to sundown now, so hopefully most of our beavers should be within range. So let's set that off. There we go. Already we're up to 74. That's effective. Good stuff. It'll also free up a couple of bed spaces. Not that we need it. We have plenty of bed spaces at the moment. And plenty of unemployed beavers to take the place of the ones that we're firing off into space. Okay, I will... Yeah, I'll play on till the end of the bad tide and we'll see where we are. There we go, the end of the bad tide. Everything's fine. I mean, we've taken a little bit of water out of storage, but we've still got nearly 12,000 in there. Yeah, not a huge issue. I'm going to turn these two water pumps off straight away, I think, and give this a chance to fill up. I'm going to close that so that all of our fresh water goes into here, all of our bad water goes into here. I mean, we'll get some crossover, it's fine. Okay, everything else should be going fine. Over here, I dropped this down to the same level as the top of the barriers there. So hopefully we should get a bit more fertilization in this area once the lake fills. Let's set this down to 0.75, which is what that is set to, so that's fine. Water is returning there already, that's good. Looks like the water's all flowing into there now, that's good. We're getting water back into here, that's good. These trees should be fine, they've got over a week before there's any problems. We have a flooded building. Sure, that will sort itself out. Should sort itself out. It's not sorting itself out, is it? Tell you what then, let's open those briefly. to let some of that pressure off. There we go. Now we should be able to close it and have it all feed through into there without any problems, he says. Okay then, right, everything else is going okay. Our planting is spreading nicely up here. Like to see it. Okay, over here, I have done some work. I've doubled up on the water pumps. I just need to set off these explosives here. There we go. And what are we waiting for there? A builder. Thank you very much. So yeah, so these water pumps I've just basically doubled up to increase the speed at which we can fill all of this. Obviously that does involve this section being filled as well. But you know, we'll work on that. Oh, probably worth setting that down to 0.5 so we can get some water flowing into here. We want to set that down to 0.8 so it flows back out. We want to turn that fluid dump off. And we'll set that to 0.8 as well. There we go. That should reduce any flooding around this area. It appears to have done. How's the water doing here? The water is filling up this section. Alright, so we're about to start flowing into this section and then into there. Alright, I'm happy with that. Okay. I think we'll come back for one more episode because I want to get this working. And I think with the additional mechanical pumps there, that should probably help us. Although it does involve, as I say, all of this filling up relatively quickly. But that shouldn't be too bad because this reservoir here is already filling. Oh, I will turn off 2 of these pumps as well. Yeah, so this reservoir is already filling. It doesn't take long to fill up. It will then spill out into here, fill this up. Hopefully by that point, this will have filled up enough for me to feel comfortable opening that section as well. And we'll get a bit more water through here. Yeah. Hopefully. We just had 2 or 3 very long drought and bad tides back to back. We need a nice gentle one to help us build back up our sort of passive storage, if you like. Thank you, autosave. As I say, I will leave it there for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. We will come back for one more, a finale episode, if you like. So please join us for that. Please do give us a like and a subscribe if you haven't done already. And as I say, please join us next time. Until then, I've been John. This has been Timberborn. Please do take care of yourselves. Stay safe. And bye-bye.